like to call the meeting to order, please. Roll call. Here. You stand for a moment of silence and pledge allegiance. I have a motion to request approval of the minutes of the previous meeting, March 22nd, 24th, 2021. Motion is second, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Do I have a motion to approve the treasurer's report? Motion is second, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Do I have a motion for payment of general and federal fund bills? Thank you. Motion and a second. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. I have a motion for payment of the cafeteria fund bills. Motion is second. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Do I have a payment? Do I have a motion for the payment of the capital reserve fund bills? Motion is second. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. This evening we have a presentation by phone for a PSP update. Aaron Eckert, PSP Member Services Manager.
Hey, Aaron. All right, can you hear me okay? Yes. All right, great. Always a good way to start. Okay, my name is Aaron Eckert, and I'm the Member Services Manager calling from the Pennsylvania School Boards Association. First, thank you for including me on this evening's agenda and for your continued membership in PSBA. This evening, I'd like to give a brief update of what's going on at your membership organization. As we're in spring, PSBA continues to offer a variety of services and opportunities for networking and professional development. Coming up in May is a great networking and professional development opportunity that's available to school directors. Complimentary all school directors monthly exchange Zoom meetings are held on the third Thursday of each month, about 12:30 p.m. and running for an hour, and are open to all 9 members of the board. First half of the meeting, tune in and listen in to education and advocacy topics from featured speakers here on PSBA staff. Second half of the meeting, the opportunity to interact with other school directors from across the state for cross-district networking and discussions on education hot topics, legislative updates, and advocacy strategies. Next evening is on May 20th. For anyone interested in attending, you can either reach out to myself or to the member services at PSBA.org email for registration information. In addition, we recently released the 2021 edition of the State of Education Report in collaboration with the Pennsylvania Association of School Administrators. Since its start in 2017, this annual report has served as a barometer of not only the key indicators of public performance, such as standardized test scores and school finances, but also the timely challenges that public schools are facing and how they're coping with it. As coronavirus has changed education worldwide this year, this 2021 State of Education Report focuses solely on the impact of COVID-19 on public education here in PA. Based on the results of a survey of chief school administrators and other data, the report gives a big picture look at the pandemic-related challenges faced by school districts, those related to student instruction and finances. The State of Education Report is available now on the PSBA website at www.psba.org. I'd like to take a moment and thank the Collinsville Area School Board for being one of the 396 school districts across the state who have so far adopted the Charter School Funding Reform Resolution, which calls for change in the existing flood charter school funding formulas for both regular and special education. In addition to this resolution, PSBA has recently launched the Keystone Center for Charter Change, a branch of our advocacy team that focuses on advocacy on charter reform, increased awareness on education, thought leadership on charter accountability. perspective, the PSBA continues to offer school districts high-quality services. This includes paperless subscription development, digital superintendent evaluation tools, board self-assessments, energy solutions, and professional development opportunities for our education and training team. These opportunities range from online courses and webinars to documents for social media guidance for school directors, as well as a new publication centered on the essentials of board leadership, as well as custom workshops that address topics as board culture, as a visible leader, and equity in Pennsylvania school districts. Whatever it is you're looking for, PSB has a long history of supporting Pennsylvania school boards, and school directors support to navigate relationships, lead their districts, promote public education across PA. As I conclude my remarks, I'd like to thank you again for allowing me on this evening's agenda, working with the PSBA, and most importantly, for everything you do for the students of Connellsville Area School District. Thank you.
Mr. Public comment under agenda items. Ms. McCool, would you speak about an agenda item on recognizing students?
Yeah, I want to recognize a couple of students first. So I have three things that I want to speak to. The first one, of course, is I want to recognize all the football players, the ROTC group, all the coaches, teachers, community members, and other groups within our district who participated in the Connellsville City cleanup last weekend. I had a nice group down here on Snyder Street. I just want to thank everybody for their service. That was the first thing. The second thing is, I don't know if anybody's heard about this student, but I feel like she needs to be spoken about. Her name is Tanny Basinger. She's a junior here at the high school. Tanny Basinger recently won a national gold medal through the Scholastic Arts and Writing Awards competition in the film and animation division for her submission of a 2-minute stop-motion claymation animation film entitled Fabric of Thought. To understand the prestige of winning this award, artist Andy Warhol, writer Stephen King, and fashion designer Zach Posen also won national gold medals in their respective divisions when they entered projects while in high school. This year, over 220,000 entries across the nation in all divisions were submitted, with only about 2,000 of those going on to win national medals. Tanny wrote the lyrics and music, as well as performed the storyline of the film. She created the clay character, designed and built the sets, designed and sewed the costumes, and then taught herself the filming animation aspect by watching YouTube videos. She filmed the video using a $10 app on her phone. The 2-minute film is comprised of over 1,200 pictures. This is the first film she has ever created. She was also awarded the National Vision Award, which equates to Best in Show. Historically, the award ceremony is held in New York City, but this year, due to COVID, will be held virtually in June. She was very disappointed by that. She plans to work on another film for next year's competition in hopes of winning another national medal so she can actually make the trip to New York City. So I just want to recognize and congratulate Tanny Basinger for this outstanding achievement. So this is what our students can do here in this district. The third thing I'd like to speak to is, sorry, this is the right one. Would it be right for me as a teacher to offer one student extra credit, but not any other student in the room? Of course the answer is no. Is it right for certain people, given the opportunity to speak 10 to 12 minutes, and only Jamie McCoyle given 3 minutes? No. Is it right that our administrators do not have to use sick days when in quarantine, but teachers, cafeteria workers, secretaries, and everyone else in the district has to? Why? Because I asked that question. It's because administrators have the ability to work from home. That's what I was told. But I think we all know that teachers have the ability to work from home as well, but we're not afforded the same opportunity. I am here to ask the district to come up with a plan to give us back some of our days. Many of us were forced to quarantine, and we had to use our sick days that we were using or storing for the end of our careers when we possibly get sick and need those days. Highlands Hospital worked with their staff and gave them days. The city of Connellsville worked with their staff and gave them days. The Water Authority worked with their staff and gave them back sick days. Albert Gallatin, Laurel Highlands, Fraser, and Uniontown provided their staffs with days and some sort of plan. These days weren't even bargained by those school districts. They were provided because they were good people who valued their employees. I am asking for a motion to be made tonight to provide each teacher with one sick day for every 2 days they had to use. For instance, if I had to use 10 days, I would get 5 of those days back. I don't think that's asking a lot under these circumstances. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Mr. Ryan,
Yes.
I would like to propose this motion. Motion to conduct a meeting between the Connellsville Employee Group representatives and the Connellsville School Board and invite the district leadership team to discuss payment, COVID-19, loss of work days to be returned to the individuals. If I have a second, I so move. I will read it again. Yes, it does. And if I read it again and you don't feel it does, I'll be happy to. Move to conduct a meeting between the district employee groups representatives and the Connellsville School Board and invite the district leadership team to discuss payments for COVID-19 loss of work days to be returned to the individuals. Well, I can give you the definitions of what those are. Group representatives would be the officers of all the labor groups. Correct. The Connellsville School Board would be us. And the district leadership team would be that group that Dr. Bradley has with him. Do you have an amendment? If not, I would like to move that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Secretary. Mr. Grella, would you make sure that Secretary motion will not receive? We have a motion and a second. It wasn't on the agenda. Any further discussion? Yes. Why we're
amazed at how fast that was. You wrote that up for Mr. Granado. It's amazing the rest of us didn't get a chance. You must take shorthand.
why this is being entered into the minutes. Do we have any comment on the public?
Secretary, please read it.
Motion to conduct a meeting between district employee group representatives and the Constable School Board and invite the district leadership team to discuss payment for COVID-19 workdays to be returned to individuals.
Motion second, once again, any further discussion?
So just to clarify, this is a motion to have a meeting. Any further board action would require action at a subsequent meeting.
Yes.
Everybody understand that?
Yes, this is a motion to do nothing but more or less to sit down and discuss.
Meeting gonna be when people on the board that work and have a job, that aren't retired or whatever, can make it, or is this gonna be just when a few people can be there?
We can make it, try to make it everybody's time. What's a good time for you?
No idea, we'll have to figure it out. Just spur of the moment, other than Mr. Ronaldo seems to have stuff in his pocket.
We have a motion and a second, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
Point of order, who would we recommend organizes the multitude of schedules and logistics involved in such a meeting? Thank you.
And Mr. Bradley, would you try to work those meetings in everybody's schedule?
Do my level and best.
Thank you. Moving to athletics and recreation, please.
Mr. Mayor. Supplemental hirings. Request approval of the following supplemental contracts for the 21-22 school year. Contingent upon receipt of the signed contract no later than 1 month after insurance, including posting of the position if the contingency is not met. Assistant varsity football coaches Joseph Urquhart and Mark Gay. I second it.
Motion second, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
Volunteer coach. Request approval of Jimmy Grove as volunteer junior high baseball coach. I second it.
Motion second, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
So I have Mr. Winchell. Mr. Lake. Mr. Evans. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving to buildings and grounds, please.
Item A, request the approval for the following events and building use requests, subject to adherence of the district's health and safety plan and all applicable state and federal laws and orders, including any mandatory or recommended cancellation, rescheduling, or postponement, and on the condition that the requesters provide an event for use specific health and safety plan acceptable to the district. Any rescheduling or postponement shall be at the sole discretion of the district and under such terms and conditions as may be set forth by the district. Item number 1, the Wild About Dance competition is requested to use the middle school auditorium Friday, April 30th at between 5 and 8 p.m. and May 1st, 2021, between 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And without objection, I'd like to no.
Mr. Martel, excuse me for interrupting. If you wish to, you spread these Monday night, if you wish to spread them on minutes, I think you can do
Can
that.
we do that?
Yes.
Okay, well, let's do it that way. There are 11
11 items.
requests.
And those are the same ones we had Monday night, correct, Board Secretary? Yes, nothing has changed since Monday night. So, Mr. Martel, spread those on the minutes. We have a motion, we have a second. Motion and second, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
Item B, request the approval of the following additions to the substitute custodian list for the 2021 school year. Holly Harvey, Luke Mancuso, Sebastian Hart, Nolan Porterfield, Cole Coons. And I so move.
Excuse me. Mr. Monjo, again, I apologize for interrupting, but our secretary says we have one addition that didn't make it to the agenda. Is that Ken Roselle? So we're going to add Ken Roselle, if that's okay?
Ken Roselle.
Yes. So we have the following substitutes that Mr. Monjo read in addition to Ken Roselle. Was not on the agenda Monday night. Anybody have any questions? Okay, we need a motion and a second, please. We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
Item C. This one hasn't been changed. Request approval to purchase an X-Mark zero-turn laser tractor from Rural Park Hardware at a cost of $8,799.99 as budgeted, and I so move.
Motion and a second. Question. This zero turn, do we have any concerns about mowing the hills? I couldn't hear you. Motion and second.
What do you want the zero turn money?
Yeah. Motion second, all in favor? Opposed?
No.
Roll call.
No.
No. I don't think we need the other motion, Mr. Monjo.
Right. That's the only reason I couldn't hear you. Never mind, stop. Right. Item E. Request the approval of the Cosmo Pony and Colt Baseball League. Place a 12 by 16 prefabricated building on the property of the Cosmo Area School District at the Dunbar Thompson Stadium. It is currently leased by the organization, and I so move.
Motion second, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
Item F.
So, Mr. Panzella, we did check with our insurance agent, and there were three options that we provided. We spoke a little bit about them briefly on Monday. However, just to reiterate, I know that Mr. Solomon was the main point of contact with the insurance agent, and perhaps the proof they state what those three options were for the, yeah, okay. Thank you. I do believe that should be it. So the Pony League and Colt League is aware that they are responsible for, especially the contents of their building. Yep, thank you.
Item F. Request the approval to award the bid for the Dunbar Township Elementary School roof replacement to TRS Roofing, Williamsburg, PA. The lowest responsible bidder meeting specifications to be paid from the capital reserve fund as follows. $1,049,400 is the base bid. DRF roofing base at Williamsburg, PA, 84,800 square feet roof replacement. $211,900 is for GC1 alternate for a 30-year roof warranty. $61,600 is the GC2 alternate for the painting of the underside and the structure of all canopies and overhang. And the total will be $1,322,900. And I so move.
Question. Motion and second. Question.
Yeah, I don't know who put this together. I got a couple of questions. First of all, the way this read, we had confusion Monday night, and I was confused. That's a $211,900,000. I mean, $211,900 as GC1 alternate for 30-year roof. It's not for a 30-year roof. And I don't know why they even added it. It's a difference between, and it was explained to us in an email, but the difference is whether we're going with a 60 mil, like we have on this high school, or we're going heavier in the 90 mil. We're not paying $211 like I thought we were for 10 more years of the warranty. We're getting a heavier roof, a 90 mil roof, and it should just be included if you picked the 90 mil roof, that it was $211,900 more. I mean, and where's Crabtree's price here? I know they didn't do it for nothing. Anybody got a percentage on what they charge?
We already did.
I think it was a lump sum.
There was a lump sum approved prior to their consultation on this project. And they're writing the specs and the bid documents.
But yeah, and did they write this or did we do this? Because this is just, it's very confusing. And I asked Mr. Kirsch to bring me the billing and the roofs to give me a sample of it so we can compare it. And I have it right here if any board member wants to see. We did put 60 mil on this high school, and anybody that's been in high school knows that we've had a few leaks in high school with the 60 mil roof. And this 90 mil is much, much heavier than the 60 mil. Doesn't matter to me which way you go, but if you're going to go with 20 years, I'd still like you to see to go with the 90 mil for 20 years before you do 30 years with the 60 mil. Anybody board member would like to see it, I can hand it to them, and you can tell the difference. Then look at it, it's much different. That's all I have. Thank you.
Mr. Lake, is it rated at 30 years, or is it just automatically give us 10 more years if we use the heavier mill?
You know what, Dave, I would say it was probably rated, and Dave just threw that in there and George, it's probably, and what the explanation was in their emails, but they need more stables to stable 90 mil down. I think you need more stables to stable 60 mil down than you would 90 mil because it's much lighter.
So what's the warranty?
30 years if we get to 90 mil for 211,000 more. I mean, yeah, 211,900 more. We get the 90 mil for 30 years.
10 more years.
Yes.
Not a little.
I hope that's the way I'm understanding. It made it sound like we was paying $211,000 just for 10 more year warranty and not knowing whether we're getting the 60 or the 90 mil. This is not it.
In the original proposal, Mr. Lake, under Crabtree submitted to us, it states there that the deck replacement of a 60 mil EPDM roof, new installation associated components with a 20-year roof warranty base bid. There's also an alternate for 30 year, which would take us to a 90 mil. That's what he says in here.
We're buying a roof, why don't we just get the better one? And why don't they bid it that way to start with?
Yeah,
The other vendors also put a price in on that. And Mr. Bradley, did everyone get this page here with the cost on that, what the bids came in at
That's
30 years?
That's my understanding, that was made available to everyone, and just,
Each person had an opportunity to bid on that 30-year warranty as an option, along with the basement, which was 60.
I want to say that I didn't do anything. I don't know who else did. I don't know how many bids there were. I don't know any prices on what there was. I have nothing. So I I will not be voting on it because I didn't see anything.
I apologize, Mrs. Sexton, I'll endeavor to do a better job getting materials. With that said, the base spec from the architecture is an industry standard for public buildings. Then they offer the upcharge for a better quality product with a better quality warranty based on the better quality product that they're installing. So the base bid is the reason that individuals, the 5 bids that were submitted, bid on the spec, that's what the spec that was advertised, the spec was asking for.
Between 60 mil and 90 mil.
Clarify something, please. Clarify something. If you look at your agenda in Agenda Manager, there is an attachment you should be able to click on, which has all of the base bids and the alternate bids from 5 different roofing companies.
And I also have told this group and all the administration, I don't know how many times I cannot get on the agenda. I tried, everybody else has tried for me, I cannot get on it. So, in respect to me, maybe you should give me copies so I can see.
We can definitely do that, Mrs. Sangston, no problem. We can give you all the attachments to the agenda before the meeting. But to those of you who can get it and have your computer here, you can see that the base bids ranged from 1.5 million to the lowest, which was the TRS roofing, down to 1.049 million. The 30-year add-on to go with the better roof, so we had them bid with just a 20-year roof. I think the architects did that to try to save money, not knowing how much we have. And then the 30-year roof, which is a better roof, which is what we probably want. Those bids ranged from 211,000 to 93,000. I'm sorry, and one was 80,000, but the way I understand it is some of the roofing companies put all the materials and everything into the 30-year warranty, so that you're not just getting the warranty, it includes the cost for the upgrade for the roof, where the other roofing companies who were lower, like 80,000, probably did not do that. And the canopy painting the same way. So when you tabulate all 3 together, which we agreed we needed, TRS roofing was considerably lower on all 3 combined. And they're still the lowest if we would go with the base bid.
My question is, I'm the same way as Marcy. First of all, I don't get my PDFs from download, and it might not be because it's not sent to me right, it might be because I'm not smart enough to download it right. I'm not saying that. I didn't get all the spec sheets. All I know is I agree with Mr. Vanzella. Why wouldn't we go and try to get the best roof that we could for 30 years on this building and spec it out that way? And if somebody spec it out for 30 years at 90 mils and they're lower bid, that's the one we need to go with for qualified bid.
I have a question. I'm not really sure who could answer this, if it's our director of buildings and grounds or financial person or a board member who was serving during that time. We put 2 roofs on 2 elementary buildings. This is our 3rd elementary building that I'm aware of that we're going to do. The other 2 elementary buildings, why didn't we use the same specs and the same roof on Dunbar Township? Why are we changing the roof type of Dunbar Township? Is there something unique to that building that it isn't going to be just an overlay over the old roof, which is what we did before I came on to the other 2 elementaries?
The only thing unique about it is it's twice as big. If you want to call that unique. It's
size of it,
twice the square footage as the other elementary.
okay, that would deal with cost. I understand that square foot cost. I'm talking about the type of roof. Well, maybe we're not tearing off down to the old roof off of Dunbar Township, like we did tear off in Bullskin in West Rockford. Is that what you're saying? I don't know. We use an overlay. So is this going to be an overlay? We turn it off. Why are we changing something that the previous board felt that the district needed to do for those buildings? It's fine. No longer fine. I don't understand. Yes, I know. I'm talking about the 2 elementary. Those we did not. Why are we changing the format that we thought was acceptable for the other elementary buildings and changing it here?
The other 2 elementary roofs was put on by ADM. We didn't think you guys would like it too well. They can then put our other.
All right, well, again, you were making an assumption without conversation.
Well, you have no problem with ADM?
I didn't say that. I said you assumed something that you didn't bring to the board. I'm not here to argue. I want a roof. I will vote for this roof. Dunbar Township. Those students, those staff should not be in a building that wasn't even touched when the ADM here.
We put a similar roof of what we got right in front of you right there. We put a similar roof on here, but it was 60 mil. And it leaked. We have leaked several leaks in this roof. But at the time when we did that roof, it was supposed to be a great roof. Now they got a 90 mil roof, and I just feel that we got to put just like Mr. Van Zelt said, put the best roof we can on for these kids.
So my understanding then through this dialogue is this roof for Dunbar Township, if we do the 211,900 more, which I'm in favor of doing, will meet or exceed what we've done before.
Yes.
And what we did at the other 2 elementaries. So it doesn't exceed the other 2 elementaries. Why would we give Dunbar Township something less?
Just as my point of clarification, the board engaged with an architect who is more expert on roofing and on specific items to specific buildings. They engaged with that architect. The architect, in writing, has given you his opinion, which I support. The above, which is the alternates, the base bid with the alternates. The above is our recommendations for bid receipt. However, we understand final approval based on board receipt, and we'll proceed with either base bid or base bid with alternatives. So the architect that you engage with is recommending the base bid with the alternates for the thicker roofing material based on that building, based on that building's needs. They are more expert, and you guys rightfully so, engage with them to make that recommendation for you.
So, yeah, an affirmative vote to spend the taxpayers' dollars on a building that their children go to and grandchildren, I'm all for that, meets or exceeds specifications of the 2 roofs that we put on the other 2 elementary. Just a yes or no answer.
That was not in the scope of their engagement. They were not asked to compare to 2 other facilities. And I don't know that off the top of my head on Wednesday. I don't know the thickness of the roofs at 2 other elementary buildings and when they were put on. If someone does have that knowledge, please share it. However, that was not in the scope of the engagement of Crabtree.
Mr. Bradley, what I could find out when I researched about this particular roof that's going on here, and I agree with you because the information I got is probably one of the most popular ones. It's wind resistant, it's from blistering, cracking, it stands up against hail as large as 3 inches in diameter. I don't see it wrong, and also climate change, weather, and it expands and contracts, so I don't see anything wrong with that for everything I found.
Serge, you could reasonably assure us or me that this meets or exceeds what we did before. I don't want to give Dunbar Township roof job less than the very best we can do. Well, we don't know if it's better or at least equal to the other two elementary building roofs that we put on. I don't want to hold up this for that. When you find out, I'd like you to let us know.
Tearing those two roofs off, are we, Don? I mean, we're not putting bullskin and wherever else, we're not tearing the roofs off, are we? You wanna take them off? Is that what you're waiting to see?
Mr. Panzel, let's be reasonable here. I think that the specs should be in filing cabinets or on computer hard drives somewhere on what we actually did to those two buildings. That's all I'm asking for.
Could I just say something, please?
Yes.
The architects are the architect you voted on to hire. They spec what they thought was best for that building. They were down there a number of times. They're the experts. They spec a lower level, which is probably what you have on some buildings, 20 mil, then an upgraded roof, which they recommended we get. Okay? If you don't vote on it tonight, I'm just saying if you don't want to do it and you send it back to get more information, this roof will not get on this summer because they have been waiting to start till this board meeting. And if you even delay it a week or something, they said it's going to be hard to get roofers, to get the people in place to do the job. So I'm just saying that if it's delayed at all, we're not going to get the roof on this year. And the price is not going to stay the same. In addition, the TRS roofing bid, with the base bid and the 30-year warranty, is cheaper than all but one of the base bids of the other four. So if you add them together, they're within maybe $10,000 or something like that. I can't add in my head that quickly, but they are their bid is much lower, and the architects have deemed them a very reputable roofer. That's all I'd like to say.
Mr. Kirsch, you have access. I think I heard you say what I was asking for. All right, if you could just copy that to the entire board so that they would have it as well. It's not an unreasonable request. I just want to make sure that we're spending our tax dollar doing our fiduciary responsibility to the taxpayers and to the children and staff that actually work in that building. And everything that I'm hearing, this roof could be as well as or better than what we put on in the past, and I'm fine with that. Just wanted to know. Question, please.
We have a motion and a second. We had discussion. And Mr. Lake, to answer your earlier question, the board secretary looked it up. A few board meetings back, we approved Crabtree to do the specifications for $28,500. And that works out to 2.1% of it. So, okay, no further discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Sorry. We have no opposed. Motion carried with one abstention.
And, the last item is just, we had a committee meeting held, April 15th at 6 p.m. Mr. Martrady, have anything to add? Thanks. That's all we have, Mr. President.
Thank you. Moving to Carnegie Free Library, Mr. Marshall.
Thank you, Mr. O'Manick. I have nothing. Mr. Lake? Fans out. We have nothing. Thank you.
Thank you. Consular Career and Technical Center, Mr. Lee.
Thank you, Mr. O'Manick. Request approval of the articulation agreements between Rosedale Technical College and the Consular Area Career and Technical Center effective April the 29th, 2021, and I so move.
Motion second, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
Mr. Martucci, you have anything? Mr. Montiel? Mr. James? That's all we have, Mr. O'Malley, thank you.
Thank you. Moving to curriculum, Mr. Ronaldo.
Thank you, Mr. O'Malley. Request approval for Lauren Colson, teacher, to participate in the Spring Thematic Training Program, May 11, 2021, at an approximate cost of $160 for registration and substitute as budgeted, and I so move.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Request approval to purchase the Glencore Course 1 completed bundle with Alex as a 5-year bundle at a cost of approximately $41,719.25 to be paid for out of the community education for an A-TSI school grant, and I so move.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Request approval to purchase Glencore Course 2 and 3 with Alex as a 5-year bundle at a cost of approximately $99,201.83 and to be paid for as budgeted, and I so move.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Request approval to purchase Essentials of Human Anatomy 11th, 13th edition at an approximate cost of $15,853.03 to be paid for from the Ready to Learn grant, and I so move.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Request approval to purchase chemistry in the Central Science 14th edition at an approximate cost of $6,191.03 to be paid for out of the Ready to Learn grant, and I so move.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Request approval for the 2021 summer school proposal as attached, and I so move.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Request approval to accept the donation of $3,000 from Adopt Classroom through the partnership with Stendhal Subaru to fund teachers in their communities. 6 teachers will receive an AAC amount with $500 of credit for online purchases, and I so move.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
We had a committee meeting that was held on April 20th at 6:30 p.m. Mr. Moore in the affirmative. Mrs. Sangston. Dr. Cook. Thank you. That's all we have.
Thank you. Moving to cyber.
Just to let you know, we had a committee meeting, it was held on May 12th. We'll be having another one, trying to have them every 3 weeks to a month. I'm working on a few items in that committee. Very good response, very good group. I'm the dummy of the group, of course, when it comes to that. But thank goodness we have a great group of people and other committee members, and I think we'll move along. Hopefully we're going to make good decisions for the students, the district, and everybody. It may take a little time, but I think it'll work out that we make some good decisions. That's all I have. Mr. Ronaldo, Mr. Marshall, do you have anything? Mr. Ronaldo? Mr. Ghost? Dr. Stern's here. That's all we have. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving to federal programs, Mr. Please.
Thank you, Mr. O'Malley. Request approval to hold a 2-day STEM enrichment camp. Dates to be determined at Wilson Elementary, Elmore Township Elementary, Springfield, Clifford and Prince Elementary, West Crawford Elementary, Collinsville Area Middle School, at an approximate cost of $9,500 to be paid for by Title IV funds. And I so move.
Motion second, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
Request approval to hold a CASD tech camp, date and times to be determined, available for teachers to attend, a professional development hosted by Collinsville administrative team and staff. This camp will focus on introductory and advanced level training sessions tailored to teacher needs in the areas of new technology initiatives and core instructional practices. Paid for by Title II and Title IV professional development funds, and so move.
Motion second, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
Request approval for kennel camp for incoming kindergarten students to be held at each elementary building in August at an approximate cost of $12,000. Cost paid from Title I funds. So moved.
Motion second, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
And there was a committee meeting held April 20th at 6 p.m. That's all I have. It's the same thing. Some more training. Project news? That's all, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving to finance.
Item A, request the approval of the budget transfer. I so move.
Motion second, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
Item B, request the approval to close the Somerset Capital Projects account from the Energy Savings Lease Project and transfer the balance of $43,013.42 to the Somerset Capital Reserve account. I so move.
Motion second, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
Item C, request the approval to close 5 accounts at PNC Bank and transfer the funds to the Somerset Trust. And these 5 accounts would be General Fund Payroll, General Fund Money Market, the CTC General Fund, the Cafeteria Fund, and the Cafeteria Summer Food Fund. And I so move.
Motion second, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
Item D, request the approval to open 5 new accounts at Somerset Bank. And that would be the General Fund Payroll, General Fund Money Market, the CTC General Fund, the Cafeteria Fund, and the Cafeteria Summer Food Fund. And I so move.
Motion second, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
Mr. Granado, do you have any? No.
Do, one thing, maybe Mr. Mel, you can help me. I think some of the things that we did, 2 roofs, good thing. Refinance is at 5.2 million, right around there. Maybe down to 1.5 left, maybe. And the old kitty of what we spent, I'm guessing. Just off the top of my head. We paid 0 debt so far with the money. We just keep using the wish list. It's good to see we paid cash for some stuff. We would have never had the 5.2 million if we wouldn't. We're debt heavy. It's a shame we didn't pay some debt down also, but sure on the list, but it's good to see we did pay cash for some stuff.
So, Mr. Panzella, when we applied for the 2019 and 2019A bond refundings, those are to be used, the money that we took out of that had to be used for capital improvements, and we gave them a list. Or at the time we did it, we had to elect to pay down debt then, which was when we did the 2020 bond refunding. We didn't take any money out to do improvements. We took all of the approximately $800,000 and put that towards debt.
I'm pretty sure we watched back on the video, and maybe Dan can tell me. I think Mr. McShane stood here from the bond refinancing place and told us we had 3 years and we had 2 choices. We could pay debt or we could use it for capital improvements. Those were our 2 choices. And we also, a few months ago, decided to look into that. And I don't know if nobody got back to me on their final answer from legal counsel, but that's where it ended for about 3 months ago.
No, I did ask legal counsel, and and I can send you the email that she sent to me that specifically stated that we are to use that towards capital projects. If we don't, it will be used to pay down principal only of debt, but it will go to the last payments, not next year or the year after. It would hit in like 2027 would be the earliest.
I remember Mr. McShane standing here. I could be wrong. Maybe I misunderstood it, or maybe he told us wrong. He told us we could use it for debt.
I'm not sure, but I called him first, and he said the person who makes that determination is the bond counsel, and I immediately talked to her. We could have a conference call with her if you'd like, before we spend any more money.
It's okay, we're down to the last bit, is all I'm trying to tell you. And it's money we would have never had,
We're probably down to about 2 million.
give or take. Or take.
So we have, Mr.
Thank you. Moving to food service, please.
Thank you, Mr. O'Malley. We have no agenda items this time. Mr. Panzella. Mr. Harrison. That's all, Mr. O'Malley. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving to personnel review and liaison.
Thank you, Mr. O'Malley. A, Athletic and Transportation Secretary, request approval to appoint Diana DeWitt as Athletics and Transportation Secretary, effective May 15, 2021, and to post her position. I so move.
Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, we have one abstention.
B, HR Benefit Coordinator, request approval to appoint Kelly Porterfield as Human Resource Benefit Coordinator, effective May 15, 2021, and to post and advertise her position. I so move.
We have a motion and second. Now, this motion has been changed slightly from Monday night. Monday, we do not have and to post and advertise position. Any questions on it or concerns on that? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
C, professional substitutes, request approval of the additions to the professional substitute list for 2020-21 school year. Michael Gismondi, David Tristani, emergency, Regina Anderson, RN, emergency, and I so move.
Motion second, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
D, intermittent unpaid leave of absence, request approval of an intermittent unpaid leave of absence for Diana Butts, teacher, for the 2021 school year, and I so move.
Motion second, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
E, unpaid leave, request approval for Amy Kokenatter, HR generalist, to take unpaid leave of absence from April 8th through September 30th, 2021, and I so move.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
F, unpaid leave, request approval for Nancy Culver, aide, to take an unpaid leave of absence from May 10th through May 14th, 2021, and I so move.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
G, retirement, request approval to accept the retirement of Melinda King, secretary, effective February 1, 2022, and I so move.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
H, retirement, request approval to accept the retirement of Sharon McLaughlin, cafeteria employee, effective June 11th, 2021, and I so move.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
I, retirement, request approval to accept the retirement of Barbara Augustine, cafeteria employee, effective June 11th, 2021, and I so move.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
J, retirement, request approval to accept the retirement of John Basinger Jr., custodian, effective June 25th, 2021, and I so move.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
K, retirement, request approval to accept the retirement of Daniel Primus, custodian, effective June 30th, 2021, and I so move.
Motion second, the question.
Yes. I, retirement. I'm sorry.
We have a motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
I, retirement, request approval to accept the retirement of Mary Ann Hunkle, teacher, effective June 30th, 2021, and I so move.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Letter M, retirement, request approval to accept the retirement of Lori Sutton, teacher, effective July 12th, 2021, I so move.
Motion second, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
Letter N, request, another retirement request approval to accept the retirement of Judith Mitchell, teacher, effective June 10th, 2021. I so move.
Motion second, all in favor? Opposed? Motion
Vote.
carried.
O, retirement, request approval to accept the retirement of Leslie Bartosh, teacher, effective June 11th, 2021. I so move.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
E, unpaid leave, request approval for Glenda Jordan, monitor, to take an unpaid leave of absence effective April 28th, 2021 through the remainder of 2020-21 school year. I so move.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Q, unpaid leave, addition from Monday evening, request approval for Sherry Niccolo, aide, to take an intermittent unpaid leave of absence for the remainder of the 2021 school year. I so move.
We have a motion and a second. It's noted as a new item from Monday evening. Any questions or concerns? That includes the audience. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
R, unpaid leave, addition from Monday evening, request approval for Jamie Green, aide, to take an intermittent unpaid leave of absence for the remainder of the 2021 school year. And I so move.
Motion and a second. Once again, any questions or concerns? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
S, unpaid leave, addition from Monday evening, request approval for Linda Porball, library clerk, to take an intermittent leave of absence for the remainder of the 2021 school year. And I so move.
Motion and second. Any concerns or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
I believe we are at the end, Mr. Matty. And I'd like to take this time to thank all of the retired individuals that were read tonight. Happy and safe retirement. And also our secretary will send them a letter confirming all that. And that's all we have. Mr. Montiel, do you have anything additional? Mr. Grimaldi? That's all we have.
Thank you. Moving to policy and legislative, Mr. Murphy.
Thank you, Mr. Maddox. Request approval to renew the PSBA Policy Maintenance Program Participation Agreement, effective July 1st, 2021 through June 30th, 2022, at an annual cost of $1,250 for policy maintenance and $899 for administrative regulation as proposed. I so move.
Motion second. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
That's all I have, Mr. Martucci. Mr. Bernardo. Mr. Bradley.
Nothing taken.
Have nothing further.
Thank you. Moving to safety and security, Mr. Murphy.
Thank you, Mr. Maddox. I have nothing this evening. Mrs. Sampson, do you have anything additional? Mr. Martucci? Mr. Moore, like anything? That's all we have.
Thank you. Special education, Mr. Murphy.
Mr. O'Malley. Request approval for agreement between the Connellsville Area School District and Chestnut Ridge Counseling Services Incorporated for professional services for a 10-month at a cost of $7,500 per month, effective August 16th, 2021, and I so move.
Motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Request approval to adopt the intermediate Unit 1 IDA Part B policies and procedures as proposed, and I so move.
Motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Committee meeting was held on April 21st at 4 p.m. Mr. Lane, anything further? Mr. Martucci? Mr. D'Amico? That's all we have, Mr. O'Malley.
Thank you. Moving to student services, Mr. Sain.
Approval of the K-12 voluntary student accident insurance through United States Fire Insurance Company for the 21-22 school year. I so move.
Motion second. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
B, 21-22 school calendar revised. Request approval of the 21-22 school calendar as proposed. I so move.
Motion second, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
That's all I have, Mr. Rennie. Mr. Monticello? Mr. Lake? Mr. D'Amico? That's all, thank you.
Thank you. Moving to technology. Oh, yes.
I can ask the high school administrative team to respond. Thank you.
On to technology, please.
I have nothing. Mr. Harrison, do you have anything? Mr. Martrey? Mr. Goes? That's it, we have nothing. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving to transportation, Mr. Lake.
Thank you, Mr. O'Malley. Before we go on, I just want to give some information. I'll make sure it's given to the whole board, but I want to give Mr. Bernardo the information he asked him before. ABM did 2 roofs. They were both 30-year warranty with a 90 mil. The first 20 years was covered by labor and material through the roof contractor, and the last 10 was through the manufacturer. And I'll make sure that everybody has that information, Mr. Bernardo.
Thank you, Mr. Lee. So it meets or exceeds the needs. That's what we wanted to know. Thank you very much.
Transportation. Request approval of the following additions to the bus van driver list for the 2020-2021 school year. Douglas Cruiser, Ross Minor for the EW Colburn bus lines, and I so move.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
In accordance with Act 136 of 2020, subsection M-1.1 of PA School Code 1501.8, the Connersville Area School District will pay the contracted transportation providers and certify to PDE that all transportation contractors were paid as if the COVID-19 response did not impact transportation services minus the variable costs certified to the school district by its transportation contractors for the days that school was virtual due to COVID-19 closure, and for virtual Wednesdays effective April 1st, 2021 during the 2020-2021 school year. And I so move.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And for information purposes, transportation meeting was held on April 22nd, 2021. And I believe that's all I have. Mr. Panzella, do you have anything? Mr. Harshman? Mr. Evans? That's all we have, Mr. O'Malley. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving to President's report. Request approval to hold a regular scheduled board meetings on May 24th and May 26th, 2021 at the Connersville Area Career and Technical Center and to advertise accordingly. And I so move. We have a motion and a second, and the reason for this is the musical practice will be taking place. And it'll be meeting the stage. That's all we're moving it for one board. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. And one other item before I leave. We did not have an executive session tonight. It wasn't something that I overlooked. We did not have an executive session. We just came and started the meeting at 7 o'clock. But on Monday night, we were in executive session from 6 to approximately 7:50 on contracts, personnel, safety and security. On April 13th, 2021, from 10:30 in the morning to approximately 11:30 in the morning, we had an exit interview with the auditor. The same day, at 5 o'clock at night to approximately 8 p.m. at night, we had an executive session on personnel. With that, we'll move to public comment for on agenda items that we have none this evening. Mrs. Grinnell, anything further to add? Dr. Coons, anything like to add? To you, Superintendent.
Thank you, President O'Malley. I'd like to first congratulate, we had a number of students from Springfield, Clifford and Fritz Elementary School participate with the Collinsville City Council and the Fayette County Cultural Trust in a Collinsville flag contest, design a flag contest. And 2 students from Springfield Clifford M. Fritz School were awarded first and second prizes in that contest. The runner-up was Jason Fletcher, a 5th grader, and he received a $25 gift card from Atkins Music. And the first place winner was Taylor Knopfsnyder. Taylor received a $75 gift card from Appalachian Creativity Center. Taylor is also a 5th grader. I congratulate those students and the other students that participated, and both their flags were neat, and we can give these to Mr. Ghost to go ahead and present on our website. I wanted to thank Dr. Coons and the board for supporting our summer school efforts this summer. I know Dr. Coons and the administrative team, along with support staffs, have been hard at work designing summer school that will meet the needs of an ever-increasing student body due to COVID-19. We know that in conjunction with their academic needs, we know there will be social, emotional, and also food needs that we're attempting to address this summer. So we look for a very broad, a very deep, and a very impactful summer school for students that need that type of environment and need that type of scaffolding for the next school year. I want to thank Mr. McCoyle for mentioning Taney Basinger's accomplishments. Thank you, Mr. McCoyle. For anyone who wants access to the full article from the Daily Courier, it was a well-written article that came out April 21st. We were able to put that out on the CSD Falcon Super Twitter page. It's at CSD Falcon Super. That was on April 21st. That we put the full article out that details some of the accomplishments for the award that Taney earned in her trip to New York City that obviously didn't occur. Hopefully she'll be able to qualify for that trip to New York City next year. And lastly, I echo the sentiments of the board and the individual board members that commented on our retirees, wishing them the best for the future, and thanks for their impact on the students here at the Collinsville School District. Thank you, and that's all I have.
Mr. O'Brien.
Yes.
Dr. Bradley, Mr. McCoyle, would it be possible for the board to get a link to that animation, if that's copyrightable to be able to do? And second, I would like to know if that is possible, if we could then preview that either on our Falcon news station or at the next board meeting on one of our smart boards so that people who are in attendance. All right, you'll check with the young lady then. Thank you.
It'll probably only be like $122,000 for the rights for the, like they charge us for the music.
Yes, and once again, congratulations to all the students, and again, wish our retirees good luck. With that, do I have a motion to adjourn? Thank you.